Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi. And inaugurating the extension of BJP headquarters in Delhi, Prime Minister Modi led an all-out attack at the Congress and the opposition, hitting out at the recently seen glimpses of the opposition unity over the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi from Parliament. Prime Minister slammed it as a coming together of the corrupt on one stage in a speech which is being seen as one of his strongest speeches outside of election campaigns.
दो लोकसभा सीटों के साथ शुरू हुआ सफर फिर भी 2019 में 303 सीटों तक पहुंच गया। आज कई राज्यों में हमें 50% से ज्यादा वोट मिलते हैं। आज उत्तर से दक्षिण तक, पश्चिम से पूरब तक भाजपा एकमात्र पैन इंडिया पार्टी है। ऐसे में देश के भीतर बैठी और देश के बाहर बैठी भारत विरोधी शक्तियों का एकजुट होना स्वाभाविक है। ये शक्तियां किसी भी तरह भारत से विकास का एक कालखंड छीन लेना चाहती है। आज भारत का सामर्थ्य अगर फिर बुलंदी की तरफ जा रहा है तो इसके पीछे हमारी एक मजबूत नींव है। ये नींव हमारी संवैधानिक संस्थाओं की है, हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस की है। इसलिए आज भारत को रोकने के लिए हमारी इस नींव पर चोट की जा रही है, संवैधानिक संस्थाओं पर प्रहार किया जा रहा है, उन्हें बदनाम करने का अभियान छेड़ा जा रहा है। उनकी क्रेडिबिलिटी, उनकी विश्वसनीयता खत्म करने की साजिश की जा रही है। जो लोग भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त हैं, उन पर जब एजेंसियां कार्रवाई करती हैं तो एजेंसियों पर हमला किया जाता है। मैं आपको कुछ आंकड़े बताना चाहता हूं। आज प्रिवेंशन ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट यानी पीएमएलए के तहत कांग्रेस की सरकार में यानी साल 2004 से 2014 के बीच 5,000 करोड़ रुपए के आसपास की संपत्ति जब्त की गई थी। 5,000 करोड़। इसी एक्ट के तहत पिछले 9 वर्षों में भाजपा सरकार ने 1,10,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा की संपत्ति जब्त की है।
And my colleague Megha explains the context and the political importance of what the Prime Minister spoke.
Fierce offensive that the Prime Minister has mounted on his political opponents. I mean, you saw in the last 15 days, so much has happened politically when we speak about the developments that we've been witnessing in the last 2 weeks or so. And today the Prime Minister, breaking his silence perhaps on each one of them and giving an answer straight himself to the allegations that have been coming his way and his party's way, when he said things like, there are people and leaders who are deep in corruption, and when the agencies start working against them or investigating them, then they start a campaign to malign the same agencies that perhaps at that point in time or during their time were working just fine. At this point in time, when they are being investigated by the same agencies, you start having a problem, number one. Number two, I am seeing a lot of corrupt people, parties coming together on one stage. Of course, he was hinting at this attempt to put together a sort of a third front that the Congress has now been doing. This after a lot of political parties, including TMC and Aam Aadmi Party, stood by the Congress after Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. The charge, of course, his attack on the opposition did not stop there. He has talked about a host of other issues, suggesting that, you know, when it comes to the issue of corruption, here is a party, mine is a party, mine is a government that is going to be relentless. My government is not going to stop no matter how much you attempt, no matter how many times you raise questions on the institutions, because he also, you know, made a reference, a direct one, to the Congress party raising questions on the judiciary, because you've seen in the last 4 or 5 days how top leaders of the Congress, including eminent lawyers, have questioned the order that has been given by the Surat court to Rahul Gandhi, calling it absurd and bizarre. So he did make that direct reference when he said that, you know, you start questioning the courts, you start questioning our institutions, you start having a problem. But look, you need to know that when it comes to me and the government that I'm running, this is not going to stop. We will ensure that each one of you who have a corruption charge against you or who has indulged in corruption will be brought to book. So corruption was the mainstay, and, you know, by stretch of that, he has, of course, taken on the entire of the opposition. I will not say only on Rahul Gandhi, but he's talked about many other host of parties.
And the Delhi police cracked down on the Congress's Save Democracy march held near the Red Fort against the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi from the parliament. Many of the MPs, including former Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat, had been detained. Visuals from the spot showed slogan shouting, leaders being taken away in police vehicles. Sources said the Delhi police had denied permission for the protest of the Congress from the Red Fort to the town hall in Old Delhi's Chandni Chowk, citing possible law and order issues. My colleague Arvind Gunashekhar spoke to Congress leader.
नारेबाजी तो हो रही है, पर ये मोदी शाही के खिलाफ हमारा संघर्ष जारी रहेगा, हमें कोई नहीं रोक सकता।
So the protest will go on?
धमकी नहीं चलेगी, डराने की कोशिश नहीं चलेगी, उत्पीड़न की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी, प्रतिशोध की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी। ये संघर्ष जारी रहेगा, न केवल दिल्ली में परंतु सभी राज्यों में, सभी जिलों में कांग्रेस के संगठन और सारे विपक्ष पार्टी एक होकर मोदी शाही के खिलाफ हम लड़ाई लड़ेंगे और कामयाब होंगे।
And Uttar Pradesh gangster Atik Ahmad and 2 others were sentenced to life imprisonment after a court in Prayagraj found them guilty in a 2005 kidnapping case. Ahmad, a former MP and MLA who faces at least 100 criminal cases, including murder and kidnapping, was brought from a Gujarat prison to Prayagraj following a 24-hour-long road journey by the Uttar Pradesh police. Atik's conviction and sentencing has come a month after a sensational daylight shootout in Prayagraj for which the police have blamed Atik.
A life term for one of Uttar Pradesh's most high-profile gangsters, Atik Ahmad, in a 2006 kidnapping case that involved this man, Umesh Pal, a key witness to a 2005 killing of Atik's political opponent in Prayagraj, who was gunned down in broad daylight in the city a month ago. The UP police have blamed Atik, who has been an MP and an MLA and was in a Gujarat prison since 2019, for orchestrating the February shootout.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी से निवेदन करूंगी क्योंकि वो मेरे पिता समान है, मैं अकेले हूँ, मेरे साथ कोई लड़ने वाला नहीं है। मैं उन्हीं से याचना करूंगी कि उस आदमी को, उसके पूरे परिवार को, चाहे अतीक हो, चाहे अशरफ हो, चाहे उसका लड़का हो, चाहे कोई भी हो, जब तक उनको खत्म नहीं किया जाएगा तब तक ये आतंक चलता रहेगा।
The Uttar Pradesh police brought Atik Ahmad from a Gujarat prison to Prayagraj by road. It took them 24 hours, heavy security and a media spectacle, with Atik even approaching the Supreme Court, saying he feared the UP police would kill him. The Supreme Court refused to hear his petition, asking the gangster to approach the High Court instead. With Ajay Singh and Nitin Gupta, Alok Pandey, NDTV.
And Andhra Assembly has passed a controversial resolution on scheduled caste reservation. In fact, they want the union government to include Dalit Christians in the scheduled caste list. Socio-economic status does not change with religion change. That's what the Chief Minister has said. BJP has opposed the move by the Andhra Chief Minister to extend quota to Dalit Christians. Move to appease Christian conversion lobby is what the BJP has alleged. In fact, the issue of Dalit Christians in scheduled caste list is also before the Supreme Court, and the Constitution bench should decide on the merit of the case is what the BJP has demanded. And NDTV has accessed new CCTV footage related to Khalistani leader Amritpal Singh, who is on the run for over a week now, and the police search still continues. We've now been able to establish that Amritpal reached Delhi from Kurukshetra. Amritpal removed his turban, changed his dress. Amritpal and Papalpreet were spotted in Delhi on the 21st of March. Amritpal and Papalpreet wore masks to hide from the CCTVs. In fact, this is not just the only video. Even earlier footage that NDTV had access showed how Amritpal and his aide have tried to hide themselves successfully, of course, from the CCTV several times, including using umbrellas as well as wrapping their face with clothing.
ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਅਮਨ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਭੰਗ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸੁਪਨਾ ਵੀ ਲਊਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਖਤ ਕਦਮ ਚੁੱਕਾਂਗੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡੀਜੀਪੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਏਡੀਜੀਪੀ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੈਸੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਕਾਸ਼ਨਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਟੈਪ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰ ਕਰ ਲਏ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਐਂਟੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ ਜਾਂ ਐਂਟੀ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਅਸੀਂ ਛੱਡ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ
And for now, let's take a quick break. And a top US market regulator charged cryptocurrency giant Binance and its founder with multiple violations in another move by Washington against the once high-flying sector. The charge sheet accuses Binance of failing to uphold standards that are required of a company operating as a derivatives market and dealing with major US trading companies.
The world's biggest crypto exchange, Binance, and its CEO and founder have been sued by the US Commodity Futures Trading Commission for operating what the regulator alleged was an illegal exchange and a sham compliance program. Now, Binance and its founder, as per reports, have been sued for willful evasion of US law while engaging in a calculated strategy of regulatory arbitrage to their commercial benefit. So essentially, Binance is being accused for allegedly violating 8 provisions of a commodities trading law designed to prevent and detect money laundering and terrorism financing. So while the founder of Binance has reportedly called this a really unexpected move and said this is disappointing, it is important to remember that this lawsuit comes amid a broader and increasingly high-profile crackdown on crypto companies globally. And remember, India has always maintained a tough and cautious stance on cryptocurrencies, companies, and digital assets altogether.
And a Saras crane, whose friendship with the Uttar Pradesh man made international headlines, is not eating food properly after being shifted by Forest Department officials to a zoo in the Kanpur town. Zoo officials say they are hopeful things will improve soon. Meanwhile, the Forest Department has filed a case against Mohammad Arif, the 35-year-old man who rescued the crane in Uttar Pradesh's Amethi district and cared for it for a full year.
जो मेरा दोस्त है सारस एक पिंजड़े में क्वारंटीन किया गया है देखते ही आंखों में आंसू आ गए मेरे.
A cage and a 15-day quarantine in a zoo in Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur for this Saras crane, a social media star, who the state's forest department claims it has rescued from this man, 35-year-old Mohammad Arif, an Amethi resident who says he found the injured bird in his fields last February and cared for it through the last 12 months. Kanpur zoo officials are now worried the crane is hardly eating any food.
जो मेरा दोस्त है सारस उसको समस्तपुर पश्चिम बिहार से कानपुर चिड़ियाघर में शिफ्ट करके उसे एक पिंजड़े में क्वारंटीन किया गया है और हमने देखा काफ़ी परेशान था देखते ही आंखों में आंसू आ गए मेरे.
सारस जो है अभी जो मूल आहार है सारस का वो उतनी मात्रा में नहीं ले रहा है. उसको पका भोजन खाने की आदत है तो उसको जो है धीरे धीरे हम अभी तो क्वारंटाइन में 15 दिन के लिए रखा गया है और हमारा ये प्रयास है हमारे पूरी टीम का जो है कि उसको नेचुरल फूड की ओर धीरे धीरे वो देते जाएं और उधर डाइवर्ट करें, तो वो उसको दिया जा रहा है और हमें आशा है कि सुधार आ जाएगा। व्यवहार उसका खान पान वगैरह सामान्य सारस की तरह भी नहीं है। जो
The Saras Arif situation has led to a political war in UP. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, who had earlier visited Arif and the crane at their village and claimed the forest department was made to take the crane away on Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's orders, today visited the Kanpur Zoo with Arif to see the crane.
सरकार सारस की आज़ादी छीनी, उसको उठा करके लेकर के पहले रायबरेली में बंद कर दिया, जब खुला छोड़ा तो वो अपने आप उड़ गया। मैं उन गांव के लोगों का भी धन्यवाद दूंगा जिन्होंने कुत्तों से बचाया और जानवरों से बचाया।
The forest department that has filed a case against Arif says that they want to send the crane back to its natural habitat. Bureau Report, NDTV.
And that's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you for watching.